सिर्फ बच्चे आते जाएंगे तो थोड़ा एंट्री दे दीजिए।
ठीक है सर। Okay. So I begin the class. In fact, I renew the class. Yes. Today in this particular class, our topic of discussion is investment and marginal efficiency of capital. Later, when we cover this topic, then we may move to the concept of investment multiplier. But as already quite some time gone by, definitely our progress will be, what to say? It has gone haywire. Oh God, admit ही करते रहे. Investment. I said at first what investment actually is. Investment is putting money in business. As a businessman, you require what? As a businessman, you require number of things. You require raw material. You require machineries. You require what else? You require a factory. You require a particular layout. And then you are able to conduct the business. Therefore, what you see that for all this, you require money, you require funds. Every one of you know, you must have studied even in your 11th and 12th, that in where money is, credit is, fund is lifeblood of our business. Without money, whether it is a pan shop owner or whether he is a very big industrialist, both require fund. So investment is, half of the time, this is the only thing which I am supposed to do, I suppose. Because people are coming again and again and again. So, yeah, last tak udhar rahega. Then how teaching will be? Investment is, I repeat, let me make certain progress, which at least I have covered earlier. Investment is putting money in business, to buy machinery, to build up a factory, etc., etc. Marginal efficiency of capital. This also I tried to discuss by splitting up each and every sentence. I said that capital is that part of wealth which helps in further production of goods and services. Capital is that part of wealth which helps in further production of goods and services. And therefore, what we see is that by investment, we are able to buy machinery or any other example of capital. In this way, what we see is efficiency also I explained. Efficiency is there is no wastage, there is optimum utilization of resource. And marginal I explained in detail, taking a particular example. The additional benefit, the additional cost, the additional revenue, each additional concept is marginal. Marginal in Hindi means Seema. Seema. When you write in a copy, then you write not against the margin, but yes, margin is there, then we begin our writing. Not before that margin, we are not writing. That is the last leg. That is the limiting factor. That is Seema in Hindi. So it is known as Seemant Upyogita. So it is known as Seemant Revenue. So it may be known as Seemant Lagat, that is cost. In English, marginal revenue, marginal cost, marginal utility, wherever. Marginal word means the additional. Here I said, I took the example of revenue. I said, by selling 10 pens, you are able to run revenue is 100. By selling the 11th pen, the one additional unit, your revenue goes by 120. It means what? 120 minus 100 makes up what? Makes up the additional revenue, which is known as the marginal revenue. Here we employ this for marginal efficiency of capital. What does this mean? This means that by employment of machinery, by employment of the capital, how much additional benefit am I able to derive? By employment of each additional unit of capital, how much of benefit I am able to derive? That is the marginal efficiency of capital in plain language. In non-economic language also you can say. Another thing, then I move to that marginal efficiency of capital is influenced by two things. There are two factors which influence the marginal efficiency of capital. One is the prospective yield of capital and the other is the supply price of capital. Prospective yield of capital means what? Prospective yield means by employment of the capital, how much of benefit, how much of output, how much of productivity. And productivity, if you multiply, you convert, it will become revenue because it will be sold at a particular price. So prospective yield of capital means with employment of capital, how much of additional output you are able to generate. And supply price of capital, you have been able to employ capital, but you have to make a sacrifice because you have been able to, maybe you have been able to supply price of capital means that you have been able to avail that capital maybe through borrowing. And when you borrow money, then you have to pay the rate of interest. So on the one hand, there is the benefit which is, on the other hand, there is the sacrifice which you have to undergo. I hope everyone is comfortable with English language, or should I speak in Hindi also? Teachers do what? Up till now you have understood. Do I need to translate in Hindi? Then I convert. So these are the two factors. The next thing I said that when you are going to now this is really something. Either this way or that way. Otherwise, how can your mind gets divided? See, compare with the rate of interest. Yes, when you are going to invest in a particular capital, you must always compare that what is the rate of interest. If the rate of interest is higher and the benefit is less, then you do not invest in that kind of investment, buying of a machinery. But if the rate of interest is low and marginal efficiency of capital is higher, then it is advisable to go for that particular unit of capital. Are you understanding? Yes. If the rate of interest is higher than MEC, then it is not advisable to go and invest for that unit of capital. But if the rate of interest is less and the efficiency is higher, then it is advisable to invest in that particular unit of capital. Now you tell me, I'll ask something. What actually you understand by investment? Yes. Okay, very good. Why do you require investment? Why do you require putting money in business? Because, yes, you have to assemble so many things. Next, you tell me, marginal concept means dash. It begins with the letter A. Additional, always additional. Ek अतिरिक्त. In Hindi, you say सीमांत. Next, you tell me what capital is. एक ही defining उसका redeeming feature है. That is, capital is always for future. Always for future. Whenever you use the word capital, capital will assist production of goods and services in future. That is that. Wealth, the total wealth hai. Capital is that part of wealth which helps in further production. Marginal efficiency of capital is influenced by two factors. What are those two factors? Prospective yield of capital and supply price of capital. In this, which one is a benefit which effective? यानी मैंने दो तरीका लिखा है prospective yield of capital और supply price. तो कौन सा पर्टिकुलर फैक्टर Okay. Then the last thing which we studied before also and now also, that you compare MEC with rate of interest. Marginal efficiency of capital should be greater than the rate of interest. Then you need to go for investment. And if marginal efficiency of investment of capital is less and the rate of interest is 6% and MEC is 4%, then it is not advisable to go and invest in the business. Okay, is it clear? Now there is a concept. You give me the book also, because how much they expect. You have the reference book. You will pick that chapter. Yes. Please, let me see. Then I will come to the concept of take a process of the capital supply price. This I have covered. Keynesian theory importance ये आप लोग पढ़ चुके हैं. Fishers पढ़ चुके हैं. Where is your multiplier, child? Show me that. Multiplier. Investment multiplier. That is another topic which we need to go. What is investment multiplier? Tell me. What is investment multiplier? Say. Yes. With initial increase in investment, how much is the rise in output resulting in increase in income? That K is equal to delta Y by delta I. Yes. K is equal to delta Y by delta I. What does it imply? With increase in investment, how much is there increase in income via increase in output? Okay, via increase in output. Yes, very good. Here MPC. ठीक है. Yes. K is equal to delta Y by delta I. With a rise in investment, how much is their final rise in income via output? How this multiplier works? There are two things which we need to take into consideration while we are studying multiplier. That is, yes, marginal propensity to consume. What is MPC? Tell me, what is MPC? Say anyone? What is marginal propensity to consume? Can you give me the equation? Why? You have studied. Delta? Yes. Yes. Delta C by delta Y. ठीक है? Delta C by delta Y means the change. But till now, people are entering. With change in income, what is the change in? Yes. With a unit change in income, what is the resultant change in consumption? Marginal propensity to consume is always greater than 0 but less than 1. Why it is greater than 0 but less than 1? Why MPC is greater than 0 but less than 1? Please tell me. Why is marginal propensity to consume greater than 1 but less than 0? Please answer this. Yes. Why is MPC greater than 0 but less than 1? Tell me. Any one of you? Yes. हाँ वो तो है. Yes, that is. Say, why is MPC great? Have you studied keen psychological laws? Yes. With the rise in the income, there is rise in income. With the rise in income, there is rise in consumption. But the rise in consumption is not as much as the rise in income because, I repeat, yes, very good, because saving rises. This is fundamental law, psychological law. In psychology, fundamental psychological law. With the rise in income, there is rise in, but the rise in consumption is not as much as the rise in income. So it is not equal to 1, but it is positive. Why it is not equal to 1? Because there is rise in, therefore MPC is greater than 0 but less than 1 because MPS increases. Marginal propensity to consume, save. Marginal propensity to save. Now another thing is that, okay, we have given the equation MPC is equal to delta C by delta Y. With a change in income, how much is the unit change in consumption? But apart from this, apart from this, yes, what kind of relationship exists between K and MPC? Direct or indirect? There is a direct relationship between marginal propensity to consume and K. Yes, there is a direct relationship. If one rises, other will also rise. How one rises, other will also rise, that I try to explain. See, when MPC rises, K also rises. There is a direct relationship between multiplier and marginal propensity to consume. This is because, now listen and understand, ठीक है? एक lengthy example से भी बताया जा सकता है. When there is tendency to consume more, When there is tendency to consume more, you will make more of demand for commodities and services. Yes, when MPC is greater in the society, then your tendency to consume is more, your tendency to spend also is more. When there is a tendency to spend more, expenditure is more. When expenditure is more, demand is more. When demand is more, there is on the part of industrialist the desire to invest more. Multiplier is higher. Okay? Multiplier is higher. On the other hand, when the tendency to save is greater, marginal propensity
Somebody wants to ask something. You may unmute yourself. Bolo. Hello.
फिर कुछ आवाज ही नहीं आ रहा है,
Hello.
कुछ आवाज ही नहीं आ रहा है सर।